played 9 years in the NFL, a very tough, rough sport, and he led the NFL 8 years in rushing.
Right.
The 1 year he didn't, he came in second. He was, and he is, after 43 years of retiring, considered the greatest running back in the history of the NFL.
He was also a two-sport athlete, right? Wasn't he a big
Yes,
lacrosse player?
Yeah, exactly. He was also, he's considered the greatest lacrosse player.
Right.
He played at Syracuse, and he's considered, arguably by many of the people that follow the sport. I've never seen him play lacrosse, but I've heard it that he's considered the greatest lacrosse player. And in his 9-year career, he played 104 regular season games. Not once did he miss a game, or did he miss a play. He was there every Sunday, and he played in championship games, and he was the focal point of every one of those games.
Okay, now you mentioned that there were two. Who was the second person?
The second one is a Baltimore guy also, and that's Babe Ruth.
Okay,
Babe Ruth.
I was just going to say, I just saw a picture of Babe Ruth on the screen, and I was thinking, I sure hope someone doesn't think that that's Jim Brown. Because if so, we're going to have a long conversation.
Babe Ruth, okay, 80 years after he played, first of all, he was the best pitcher in the major leagues, in the American League, lefty, for like 4 or 5 years. He also was on a World Series team where he pitched them to victory. Then he went on and set incredible home run hitting records that are still, just like Jimmy Brown, both of their records are, there's no one that's come close to them. Yes, Henry Aaron has did great. He hit more home runs. But Babe Ruth did it. His home runs per bat and home runs per games.
Okay.
And the other thing I would like to say is in 1927.
I got to go, Gerald, very quickly.
Okay. He hit 60 home runs in 1927. The rest of the American League hit 58.
Okay. Great point, and that was a call that was worth waiting for. Thanks so much for your patience.
Thank you,
I love the fact
for taking my call.
You're most welcome. I love the fact that, we have these sports historians who are kind of looking at this, from a broader perspective, and not just being caught up with the excitement of the last 7 days in Michael Phelps.
Well, I think what you just said, historians, I think Jeff put it very well. We're caught up in wanting to see the first person do something, the first person. And what the media has done and modern society has done, everybody now is caught up in, I'm part of history. I'm watching history being made. And so these labels are put on people because we're saying, well, this was never done before. I've just watched history being made. But 20 years from now, someone else will come along and do it.
Wait, did you find yourself watching it because you wanted to be able to say, oh, I remember what I was doing when he got his 8th gold medal, when he got into the record books? Yes. I found myself doing that, and I was thinking, okay, I remember where I was when Mark Spitz did it. I remember when Olga Korbut kind of took over, the gymnastics world. I remember Nadia Comaneci. So it was like I just wanted to have it in my memory of where I was and what I was doing when Michael Phelps became a household name.
And with eBay around, people were selling the tickets, proving that they were there. So the ticket is worth saying, I was there, I saw it. History, buy a piece of history.
Isn't it amazing how closely contested some of the races really were? I mean, he really worked for it. And for a fraction of a split second, it could have gone the other way. So this is just makes that even more special, I think, in some ways, that he actually pulled off the 8 for 8, and it didn't have to go that way.
And it wasn't all him. I mean, he's very quick to point out that his teammates in those couple of relays really made a big difference. And if they hadn't pulled their weight and then some, he'd probably be standing atop the, with 7 gold medals and maybe 1 silver or a couple of silvers. So they really played a big role in his success. I hope he buys them all a Big Mac. Okay, I'm going to take our last call of the night, and it's, let's see, where are we going to go? William. It's brought to us by Comcast Digital Voice. William, I don't have a whole lot of time, but you waited the longest, so I'm going to put you on the air.
Okay, thank you, Lynn.
You're most welcome.
I would just like to say that everybody in your panel is correct when they describe Michael Phelps. He has done something that has made the American people very proud. Mm-hmm. And because he's made everybody proud, his character has come forward. And his character is what set himself apart from everybody else. He has been somebody that is bullied as a young kid, and everybody is rallied around now. And because of that, he does rank himself up there with some of the greatest athletes, the Michael Jordans, the Tiger Woods, and things of that nature.
All right, William, I'm sorry, that's all the time I have. Got to take a quick break, but I really appreciate your comments, and you're right on the money, pal.
Lynn Doyle's jewelry provided by David Craig Diamonds and Fine Jewelry, Newtown, Pennsylvania.
Our hour is just about up here on It's Your Call, but you can stay tuned on CNA for Art Fennell reports. He has lots to discuss here about the timely topics of the day. Our timely topic of this day was Michael Phelps and his accomplishments. We're asking what you think about him in terms of ranking him one of the best athletes ever. It remains split here. It's a non-scientific survey, but just another way that you can tell us what you think. And of course, if you want to get more information on Michael Phelps or the Olympics in general, you have to stay tuned here on CNA, because coming up at 11:30 is Out of Bounds Late Night. And to turn to that, you have to go to Jeff Rickard. Always good to have him with us. Jeff, can anybody in at least these Olympics top Michael Phelps, or is it going to be all Michael all the time?
No, it's been the opening ceremonies for China and Michael Phelps. That's really been what these games have been about. And I'll ask the swimming guys, has anything or anybody taken more of a beating in these games than that green world record line that NBC shows all the time? That thing's got to be tired.
They're going to have to change the color of the line.
Man, it's tired. No, it's been fun to watch.
All right, certainly has been. Great to have you with us, Jeff. Good to see you again. And we will have more conversation here tomorrow night when we take on a new topic. We're going to actually turn to politics and give you an opportunity to tell us what you think about the vice presidential candidates. When are we going to know? Will it be on Tuesday? Well, we'll give you an opportunity to weigh in on that once we know. Here in the studio, though, I do want to thank all of my guests for being with us. Corey and Jim, wonderful to have you here. Thanks for your perspective.
Thanks for having us.
I know you're very pleased to see these guys do so well.